eats. Join us today and redefine your fitness journey. First Fitness, dare to be extraordinary. The Sunday Lounge with Salma Kazi Wahab. 10 to 12. Latest machines. Celebrity artist features.
حبيب رسول الله
News from the Nashville.
من يحبه مصطفى
The Sunday Lounge. Kazi Wahab.
It's official. Checkers Foods Kawi Park is our first food store with a halal butchery, bakery and deli certified by NIHT, the National Independent Halal Trust. This will ensure high standards and ethical practices across our butchery, bakery and deli from farm to table. So visit Checkers Foods Kawi Park for an exceptional shopping experience that keeps getting better and better.
Give warmth this winter. Al Ansar Outreach invites you to donate gently worn clothes and kurtas for boys, girls, women and men. Items will be distributed to madrasas, old age homes and communities in need. Drop off at 207 West Road, Overport, or call 031-208-1601 to make a difference today. Your kindness can change lives.
Durban's #1 truck stop, Reef Trade, situated at number 9 Joyner Road, Prospecton, offering a 24-hour parking facility on site with diesel wholesale and mobile distribution for vehicles, generators, plant and machinery to your door, safe parking, truck wash, container handling, restroom facilities and more. Call us on 083-449-1563 or 083-978-6410 for a free quotation. Reef Trade, we're here for you.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Get ready for Green Thumbs Up, the gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed. I'm your host and life coach, Rabia Carvalho, and we're talking birds, bees, butterflies, and blooms, growing food in garden rooms, home-based holistic healing, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or nature lover, plant assassin, or permaculture professional, we got you. We got you. Let us bring you the ideas, the facts, support, and inspiration to go green wherever you are. Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al Ansar.
Look at the sun, look at the sky, look at the bird, it's flying so high. Look at the stars, shining so bright in the middle of the night. Look, there's a shooting star. Do you ever wonder who created this and who created that? Allah created everything. What about the trees?
Audio stream across the world on Radio Al Ansar.
Can you see the wind brushing those leaves? Look at that fish swimming away.
Hey, it's Green Thumbs Up Day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, South Africa, and to the rest of the world. Already live with us on the old TikTokies and the Instagrams and the Facebook at Radio Al Ansar. You can also catch me on my own TikTok, of course, always live here with you. So Radio Al Ansar is where you're wanting to be. This is Green Thumbs Up, that gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed. And yes, it's the show where everyone's an expert. Nobody has all the answers. And together, you know what we do? We grow. Speaking of growing, someone who doesn't grow anymore because he's all grown up. Brother Sivanisu, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, the sun is shining bright today.
Oh, man, we need that sun. It's been cold. I mean, we had these beautiful sunny days, right, in the week in Durban, South Africa. And then, yesterday, I wondered, who turned the heat off? It's gone. But folks, before we've even started, there are so many people, and I'm so grateful to all of you, so many people already joining us on the various socials. Alhamdulillah, we have got, let me just let you know here, there's so many people. So Lily So Shiraz and Halima have joined us. Lily has joined us. Tharwat has joined us from Johannesburg. Lily's in Joburg South as well. Iman says she's in South Africa. Alhamdulillah. Jason Woodward, you're in Western Cape. Welcome to the show. Yes, Cape. No, I think it's just in Cape Town.
Okay.
And we've got Tandi that is joining us from the UK.
Tandi. Tandi.
Sawubona Sisi unjani? So we're on all of the TikTokies, all of the socials, people asking questions already in terms of natural health, in terms of natural healing. Vanish says, good morning, Auntie Rabia. Well, good morning to you too, darling.
You're auntie, by the way.
I'm an auntie.
Am
I?
Auntie?
No, I'm not an auntie.
Oh, okay.
Do you know, the first time somebody called me auntie, it was the word Tani. I went to a school and I remember I was about 28 at the time. Now, I when I was 28, I looked about 12, okay? And I walked into this bathroom with these little kiddies, and the next thing, the little girl comes running out, she says, Mora Tani. And I was like, yata, X now a Tani, X. I'm now a Tani. Raz is joining us in Durban. Good morning. But I know it is a sign of respect when people say good morning, auntie. Here in Durban, it is usually as a sign of respect. Carlson, walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Or is it Ulsan? Sorry. Ulsan,
and also
joined us
on Facebook, because we are live on Facebook, Instagram, as well as on YouTube. I got a message from Safi V.
Yes.
She's saying, loving this program.
Oh, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. We are always cooking with gas because it's natural living. And today we're going to have Dr. Carrie Goodwin on the show, and I know you all miss Dr. Carrie Goodwin. She is just a spot of loveliness on a Sunday morning, and we normally have her here first thing in the month, but Dr. Carrie Goodwin has been a busy little bee. And so she will only be able to join us a little bit later. So we're talking about, oh goodness, she's probably on the line already, isn't she? My hat. So before we kind of officially get stuck into it, I've got to talk about the weather.
Oh, yes, we need to know.
Hey, we got to know
about the weather. Because, you know, it's very hard to believe that yesterday we had some showers, you know, that's a little bit cold.
That was odd. Yes, we don't normally get winter rain. So for those of you joining us from overseas, South Africa is Durban certainly, a summer rainfall area. So that means that we get our rain in the summer. Yes. And when I said this to folks when I was living in Portugal as a youngster, we spent 3 years there, they would say, no, you're lying. I'd say, no, I'm not lying. It rains in the summer. In Portugal, it rains in the winter from morning to night, non-stop. You don't see the sun. It's just this like rain, especially in the north. It's not very nice. So speaking of the weather, do you have the weather for us? Shall I give you the weather?
To be honest, I had a busy day last night. You know, actually, I couldn't. I don't know.
You couldn't? That's okay. I've got it for you. No stress. It's all good. It's all good. We're here. We help one another here. And speaking of that, you know what? While we do the weather, let's get Dr. Carrie on the line anyway. Okay. Because I know she's waiting for us. And let's do the weather with her. Good morning, Carrie. How are you?
Good morning to you too. Oh, I'm going to turn off my camera. Very good in yourselves.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for giving off your time again today. It's really great to have you. I'm going to talk about the weather a little bit. And guess what? We're going on until 11 today, folks.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're going on until 11. We do have an hour. Sister Salma Kazi Wahab won't be in her hour, so I'll be standing in for her. So we'll just continue with Green Thumbs Up. But you know what we'll do? In honor of her absence, because she does our Sunday lounge, which is beautiful, Nasheeds, we're going to get our in-house Islamic DJ here, which is our sound engineer, master of all crafts, to play us some Nasheeds in the betweenings of the betweenings. But
Inshallah.
First, inshallah. Okay, so Pumzile says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ali, and I'm joining you guys in Pietermaritzburg in Subantu. Welcome. Walaikum salam.
Oh, I know. PMP, the place called Sobantu.
Sobantu.
Yeah.
Is it a place?
It's a place. It's a lovely place.
Okay.
It's near the N3, if I'm not
N3.
mistaken. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lovely place. Yeah.
You know, I get lost on a straight road, hey?
Oh.
Yeah. Carrie, I don't know. Are you also geographically challenged?
Very geographically challenged.
Now, I don't have a problem telling my right hand from my left hand. Thank goodness. But, man alive, do you know, you're in Joburg, so you'll understand the setting.
Mm-hmm.
You get inner city, Carrie, and then you get Newlands, which is, 8 minutes away at the very most, on a very, very slow, heavy traffic day. So I went from inner city Joburg one day to Newlands, and it took me 2.5 hours.
Oh my goodness.
I went to the Rose Bank. So yeah, I have many talents, but geography is not one of them, I'm afraid. MH Osman says, Assalamu alaikum, Rabia. Durban has 4 seasons in one day, many days of the year. Oh, yes, sometimes it does. Yes. There is a beautiful message that has come out that I'm going to read, although it's not gardening related. And this is from Mo, and he says, so it is a quote from Sahih Muslim 2578. It says, beware, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, beware of committing oppression, for oppression will be darkness on the day of resurrection. Beware of greed, for greed ruined those before you. It caused them to shed their blood and to make lawful what was unlawful for them. Ameen. So, Jazakallah, thank you for sharing that. We've had some questions already that came up on the show, but we've got to do the weather. Carrie, what's the weather like in Joburg?
It's beautiful sunny day, moderate temperature. I feel that there's a slight breeze, which might cause a chill in the air, but it's just to have that warm sun on your back again after the cloudiness of yesterday, because we even had little threatening on our computer. It came up, could be lightning in the sky, and I'm like, what? It is winter. So I'm very grateful today. The sun is shining, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day to be outside and in the garden.
Only a Joburger would think that an average temperature of 10 degrees, Carrie, is moderate. But that's awesome. You know, I remember being in Joburg and being grateful for those warm days. I am happy for you. Let's put it that way. I'm happy for you. But yes, your average temperature today is 10 degrees centigrade.
Mild then.
Yes, very mild. If you're lucky, you may find yourself going up to 18%. 18 degrees. If you're very lucky.
I might be able to take off my scarf and one of the layers.
You might be able to take off a scarf. Are we able to hear Dr. Carrie in studio? Yes, we are. Perfect. Just thinking for all our listeners that are tuning in on the socials. So, Carrie, today you have an average of 10, so your maximum possibly is 18, although your minimum was 8. But guess what? There is good news ahead and there is not so good news ahead. It is going to get warmer up until Thursday in Joburg. It's going to get warmer by 1 degree every day.
Yay! Good news. Wonderful news for the week ahead as school starts again. Start happening.
Yes. Unfortunately, come the weekend, it's going to drive again. Your weather is going to just crash. Now, Tandile in the UK tells us there are literally 4 seasons in one day. Where in the UK are you joining us from? Let us know. So let's have a look at the weather in Ikapi. Ikapi. Is that how we say it?
Ikapa
Lotuma. What does it mean, Lotuma? I only know Laduma, not Lotuma. Carrie, do you know?
What I can say, it's a famous place.
A famous place.
Yeah, Ikapa Lotuma.
All right. Well, famous or not, shall we go, Cape Town? Cape Town, your weather today, slightly warmer than Joburg. You're at 12 degrees. Yay, go Cape Town. Go Cape Town. You get 2 degrees more. And Cape Town will be getting also progressively warmer with the highest temperature of the week happening on Wednesday, where they hit a balmy 19 degrees centigrade. Then in Durban, where we are here, Yes. Well, today is slightly warmer. It was cold yesterday, but can we put out our best privileged voice? We put on our best privileged voice, Benito, because our weather here in Durban is rather tropical, darlings. Our weather here, we have an average of 17 degrees, and our maximum is 22 degrees today. Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Tomorrow we shall be at 24 degrees centigrade. For all of you other people around the world, around South Africa that are freezing, I'm sorry.
Sorry for you.
No, I'm sorry, Maureen.
So sorry.
Oh, we're so sorry. No, but seriously now, tomorrow will be 24. I love being in Durban. I do love being in Durban. I don't miss getting all of the pardon me, I forget what I was about to say. Showing my age here. Okay, never mind. Moving along now. Message here from Nkanyiso says, hi, he's frozen. He says he's frozen. He says he's frozen. It's freezing.
What province is he in? Maybe the Free State.
Yes, what province are you in, Kanyiso? I believe Bloemfontein is really, really being hammered. What is Bloemfontein weather like at the moment? Let's have a look. Is anybody in Bloemfontein? WhatsApp us on 060-904-1056 or put it on the socials if you're on the socials. We want to know what the weather's like there. Actually, I'm looking here online. Oh, no, shame. Carrie.
No more bad news.
No, Bloemfontein. I can't believe this, but even Bloemfontein is beating Joburg at the moment. Bloemfontein snow. There's usually snow in Bloemfontein. Oh, thank you so much, folks, for sharing the lives, for tapping the screens, for the gifts that you're sending us online. We really appreciate all of you. Yes, Bloemfontein is at 12 degrees average today. They have 21 today. And the bad news for Bloemfontein is this is downhill from there. For the rest of the week, it's just downhill from there till they have a minimum of 2 degrees on Sunday. So,
that's going to be icy cold.
Icy cold. Now, Carrie, we're going to talk a little bit about gardening, but as you know, on this show, we do take questions for natural healing as well. And there's already one that came in. Would you mind terribly if we address this one first?
Not at all. I love learning.
Okay, perfect. So a question came in here from a sister that said, please can I talk about numbness in the legs as a result of diabetes? Okay, so numbness in the legs, particularly if it's in the legs, in the lower legs, that is, or in the feet. It's a neuropathy. Okay, so that means it's nerve related, and it's common. It does affect around about half of the people that have diabetes, and normally you get that numbness, but it comes with a bit of tingling. It comes with a bit of burning, a bit of pain. Sometimes you're touching that area and it feels like hello. It's just you're not feeling it. Well, there's a great thing that you can take, and it's a medicinal mushroom, and you can actually grow this medicinal mushroom. It is not psychoactive at all. You can actually eat it, and it's delicious, and it's called lion's mane. Now, lion's mane is one of those medicinal mushrooms that has been proven to help with neural issues, with rewiring of neural pathways as well. So it prevents dementia, prevents Alzheimer's, which is one of the forms of dementia. And it is one of those that helps to irrigate the brain. Then you've got berberine, which also comes from a plant. Berberine is a plant extract. It's like a yellow powder. It comes in a capsule form. And it's known as nature's insulin. So you can take berberine, 500 milligrams in the morning, 500 milligrams in the evening. But if you are diabetic,
twice a day. Okay.
So don't take it too late in the evening because it'll keep you awake. But it does help to balance your blood glucose. Berberine, because it's nature's insulin, you need to watch out for it. So please make sure that you consult with your medical doctors. This is for information purposes. It's complementary health. It's not a substitution for medical advice. Berberine helps to revitalize, rewire, rejigger your neural pathways, but it also recreates, rebuilds your arteries and your veins, getting rid of catarrh, and it gets your blood irrigated, and it's going to help for your feet.
I think I should try that because I'm also I've been experiencing that numbness in my foods, and I'm not sure what to use for it. Maybe I should try that.
But are you diabetic?
I think I am because I went to the doctor and do some checkup.
You need to have it tested. You must have it tested.
I went to my doctor, Suleiman, and then
hey, you
my
throwing
sugar
names
was
around, eh?
up.
I'm throwing names around. I'm Dr. Suleiman. Darling. Okay, quick message here. Nasreen Esak says, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. The best colorful weather report, especially privileged to voice. Thumbs up. Another question here. Will curry leaves grow in Johannesburg area? Oh, that one's for you, Carrie. Will curry leaf trees
They do
grow? Do they? Really?
They need to put them in a protected area. So I grow mine in a pot. And when it's cold and frosty, because we did get to some minus temperatures this last month, then I've almost put it outside my back door where it gets full sun during the day, but it's very protected because otherwise it will get hit by the frost and the leaves will turn slightly black. And if it's a younger tree, the chances are it might not survive our frosty winters. But if you put it somewhere where it could be protected or maybe under an evergreen tree during the day, and then, as I said, pull it out so it gets full sun, it's going to grow perfectly in the winter. Just it needs protection.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. In fact, Rabia Gundi on social says, Walaikum salam. Yes, they do. I have one. So there you go. She has one too. Awesome. I love it when a plan comes together. I love it when our folks come together and we have a message. Again, I would really appreciate all of your messages, folks. We love hearing from you.
Of course.
Yes, salams, hope you're well. She says, wanted to know if we can take berberine for hypertension. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is why if you're taking berberine and you have low blood sugar, just monitor. Berberine is a great one. I take it every single morning. In fact, if I've had a very heavy meal, little secret, I take berberine, especially if I know I'm going to cheat 20 minutes before I eat. I have the berberine. Yes, it does. So just watch out for, if the blood sugar reduces. To spell berberine, Mai is asking in a message, please spell the medicine. It is Berberine. So Bravo, Echo, Roger, India. What is N? N for what? Nicaragua. And then Echo. My father was a radio am, Dr. Carey. He was a radio ham.
Oh, wow. No wonder you know I thought it was Morse code language, but obviously radio language so well.
Well, Morse code is more like beep, 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 beep.
Yes.
I did my Morse code exam when I was 17 because I was daddy's girl. And daddy wanted me to have a radio ham license. I still have it. I don't do it. But I grew up hearing CQ, CQDX, CQ, CQDX. This is so from so. What's your 411?
Oh, my goodness. Must have been so interesting.
It was interesting. Question that came in is, where can we buy berberine? Any natural healing therapy, any natural health store. Some of the bigger pharmacies, chemists also have them. Brother Yusuf Bassa says, salams, the weather is a very changeable phenomenon. This is what geography says. 100% it is. When there are mountains and then the heat goes up. Remember that from geography, Carrie?
Yes, I do. Wow, you are really taking me back.
There's always a trip down the memory lane and up the mountain. So tell us now, please, what is on our gardening menu for the next, say, month? Because we missed you at the beginning of the month, but that's okay. We've still got time.
Okay.
Also,
So thinking for the next month, it's still to have a look around your garden because, well, I was going to say up here in Joburg, and it sounds like it is a little bit colder down. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay. Sorry. Then you're going to look at we always call it the bones. Like I can see where I'm living, we're busy pruning all our trees to make sure that they're going to get enough light come spring when the new branches start coming through. I actually went and redid some of my garden beds so that the plants that weren't looking really good, I've taken out and put into pots to try and rescue them. And then I've put in a lot of annual colors to make it look gorgeous. I'm my spinach is doing really well I've got planter boxes, veggie planter boxes. So my spinach is doing well. My broccoli is doing great. Not that the aphids are quite loving my broccoli, but I'm happy to share because maybe
Broccoli,
I'll get some ladybirds coming to snack it on too.
Ladybird.
But I really do think it's a time to almost evaluate your garden and then start thinking about spring. So start thinking, what seeds are you going to plant, because they'll be available in your local garden centers soon. We've already had people requesting bulbs because their dahlias did so well last year that they can't wait to put their dahlias in. But I think the biggest lesson that we can learn, especially at this time of the year with gardening, is to be patient and to enjoy I want to say the starkness that might be in your garden. Enjoy the outline of the deciduous trees. Enjoy I think in Natal it might be happening already. Like we already have some blossoms on our nectarines. And I'm thinking, hang on, it's a bit too early, but nature is telling us maybe spring is going to come earlier. I had another customer, he said to me, the weavers have already changed color. They're starting to attract their mates. And I'm thinking, oh, goodness, okay, spring is definitely in the air. But like you said, we're going to have a nice warm week. So we might go into a state of delusion. And then wham, bam, it's going to be freezing cold again. So
every year we have that cold snap come August.
Exactly. And we might even get a few sprinklings of showers. So I think enjoy this darkness, enjoy I want to say, unless you have a lot of annuals, enjoy maybe the browns and the ambers, the oranges, those warmer colors that are associated with winter, but maybe not always associated with the freshness that comes from gardening. And so, as I say, I really do love looking around and the aloes. I know we've spoken about them before, but enjoy all the aloes that just seem to be thriving this year.
Absolutely. What I find in the winter as well, and we sometimes don't do this, but I invite you. Brother Buddy was talking about having a frog in his throat this morning. I think he left his frog in the microphone because I've got a frog in the throat this morning. Please excuse me, folks. Right. So I would invite you to step outside, even if you're driving in the car, and look out at the trees. Because have you noticed in the wintertime, the structural beauty of some of these trees, once the leaves are not there, it's something really beautiful. And we miss it because we only look at, the beautiful green when the beautiful green is there and the beautiful flowers is there. But winter has its own beauty. And as you said, it's about preparation at the moment. It's about planning. And it's interesting that you're pruning already. So you're an early pruner.
Well, actually, we haven't started pruning our roses and some of our fruit trees, as those sort of plants and shrubs, just the big trees. When you say look at the trees, I also love looking at the bark, because this is when you really get to see, like on your Pride of Indias, they look incredible. Your leopard trees are looking incredible. All your acacias, like your paper bark, you actually get to see that why it's called paper bark. And so, and even like the green, my niece was telling my mum how it was so lovely when she drove through and saw the fever trees. And now she can understand why they're called fever trees, because they're so green and yellow. And so, really, as you say, there's so much to see and we have a beautiful country, but sometimes we miss it for, I want to say, the color and green, and appreciate what could be the structure, as you said, that comes from the trees around us.
Yes, you talk about the fever tree. So I've got a fever tree in my garden, and it's also home to several harida. And nothing like looking out of the window. I don't venture out into the garden too early at the moment because it's a little bit of a nip in the area, and I'm a bit of a scaredy cat for the cold. But so I'm glad I'm in Durban. But I do go out foot still onto the bare earth, but to look out and see the beautiful fever trees, and the hardy-does are coming out early and you know them. This is amazing. You're in South Africa when that happens, or when you're out in the bush. There are some sounds that are so typical of the South African bush, even in winter.
Like the fish eagle. That to me always reminds me of the holidays.
Yeah, true.
Yes, the cuckoo, cuckoo. I still remember that from being a child and going camping. And in the morning, you've got those little doves. I always thought they were pigeons. And then my dad said, pigeons don't make that noise, child. So you're pruning, you're planning, and you've got your broccoli still going because, of course, it is winter. So, and if we leave broccoli too long, and we come the springtime, it's going to bolt for us. So then we can harvest those seeds.
Yeah. But I mean, it's all your crucifixes, that word.
Yes.
The veggies that are actually starting to form their flowers now. Even your cauliflower, your Brussels sprouts should be doing great. As I said, I'm really enjoying my leafy greens. So I've got the tatsoi and the mizu, all of those that I'm breaking off and actually using in the stir fries when I'm having dinner. So I quite enjoy that, being able to step outside, break off a few leaves. Thankfully, it's not the time for salads. So the lettuces, even though they would be doing fine, they are certainly not coming into my house at the moment. I'm going to let them bolt and go to flower and seed and attract bees and be able to give nectar and pollen to the bees.
So now is also a very good time to be making your fermented foods, your kimchi and your sauerkraut and your pickles of all things like onions and beetroots and things like that.
So that would be fascinating, because I was reading this last week on how healthy for you fermented foods were. And
Absolutely.
I don't know too much about them. And so actually I went to go and look in my local store, and I found it very difficult to look for fermented food. So I thought I would love to learn more about how to make them so that you could increase my dietary needs that actually would be, beneficial to my health, make it themselves. Because I think maybe if you were buying store-bought ones, they might have a lot of sugar. It could be quite correct. And maybe sugar does go into the recipe. But yeah, I think it's a food group that I don't know really much about, if that's the right way to put it. I talk plants, and I'm definitely not talking food, but I love the idea of fermented food.
But the whole reason for gardening food is so that we can enjoy it. And sometimes there's such a glut, and there's only so much you can pass over the wall to your neighbors. So I'm going to give you the recipe for sauerkraut.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's go. Folks, if you're wanting to make sauerkraut, the German way, the sauerkraut is a fermented cabbage recipe. Let us look at this. What will you need for the sauerkraut? First of all, you're going to need Wasser, which is water, and vinegar. You're going to need some vegetables.
Yeah, boy.
I must say salams to Jay and Iman and all the wonderful people that have been joining us and sending hello and tapping the screen.
Any vinegar?
Vinegar, distilled white vinegar works, or spirit vinegar when it comes to pickles actually works best. But for health reasons, let us go with apple cider, shall we? Apple cider vinegar.
All right.
So you're going to need half an onion and 1 head of cabbage. And you flavor it. Sauerkraut is typically flavored with salt, celery seeds, onion powder, garlic powder, and black pepper. Let me read that for you again, folks. And it is to taste, so you can decide how much you want of each. Sea salt. So you're wanting sea salt because you don't want iodidated salt in any pickle, by the way. Sea salt, celery seeds, onion powder, garlic powder, and black pepper. So you're going to combine your water with a half a cup of vinegar. So half a cup of water, half a cup of vinegar, and you're going to put that into a pot over high heat with your onion, which you have cut up. Then you're going to add your cabbage and your seasonings, and then pour in the rest of the vinegar on top. In other words, you're going to use 1 cup full of water. Half a cup of water and 1 cup of vinegar. The first half a cup, you're going to put half a cup water, half a cup of vinegar into the pot with the onion. Then you're going to add your cabbage and your seasonings, and then you're going to hoy over the remaining vinegar over the top. Cover it up, bring it to a boil, and then reduce it to heat. Bring the heat down and let it to simmer. We want it to simmer. And Bob's your Uncle, Sally's your aunt, and sauerkraut's on your plate. There you go. Simple.
Okay. I think we got a voice note.
Yes, let's listen to the voice note.
WhatsApp us now on 060-904-1056.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I believe the sound you were trying to make is
That is awesome. Oh, we love that. Mashallah. Pumzile. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's awesome. We love that. Yes, that was obviously the sound we were looking for Heavens to Bed Seas. And on that beautiful note, shall we go to a quick ad break?
I think let's take a national break. Then after that, we're going to go and pay some bills.
We're going to do a nasheed.
Yeah.
How wonderful. Let's do that.
Okay, here's something from Firas. This one's called Jannah, taking us straight to the next ad break.
دار الجنان لها أمان والحياة سلام وثيابها من لؤلؤ وقصورها جمال وطيورها تجري على أشجار طيبها أنهارها من عسل والمسك ريحها هي جنة المؤمنين الخالدين بها أبوابها عند القدوم ترحب أهلها ادخلوها بسلام لا خوف ولا أحزان هي جنات المؤمنين الخالدين فيها. Oh, what a life if I step into the gardens of paradise. Nothing like I've seen, better than my dreams, and known for the tears I've cried. Oh, I pray I'm shown my brand new home with the Prophet by my side. And for that with ease I'd happily trade everything in my life. هي جنة المؤمنين الخالدين فيها.
Do you know what really gets under my skin? When my cake or icing just doesn't come out right. It's such a bummer. But I found this incredible margarine called Wooden Spoon, and it's been a total lifesaver for my baking adventures. It makes my icing turn out just perfect every time. When I whip up something with Wooden Spoon, I feel like a master baker. Seriously, my cakes have never looked better. The secret? Wooden Spoon margarine. It's like the magic ingredient for nailing those perfect bakes. And guess what? It's even endorsed by the South African Bakers Guild Association. Just another quality product from the Willowton Group.
Get ready to elevate your fitness game at First Fitness in Durban's Berea. With a spacious free weight area, award-winning equipment, and exclusive ladies-only parking and training level, we've got everything you need to crush your goals. Hit the ground running on our outdoor track or unleash your inner warrior in our MMA and boxing dungeon. Plus, enjoy high security and ample parking. And don't forget to refuel at our halal coffee and health restaurant for the best in coffees, smoothies, and healthy eats. Join us today and redefine your fitness journey. First Fitness, dare to be extraordinary.
Do you know someone with a drug problem? Join me, Ibrahim Dawood, every Sunday 1 to 2 p.m. on our fight against drug abuse, where we will discuss the scourge of substance abuse in our communities and listen to the hard-hitting points from real-life experiences and true motivators.
Al-Ansar Outreach invites you to make a difference. Donate your gently used cloaks and kurtas for all ages. Men, women, boys, and girls. Items will go to madrasas, old age homes, and communities in need. Drop off at 207 West Road, Overport. or call 031 208 1601. Your contribution brings warmth, dignity, and hope.
اللهم إنك ترى ما نزل بنا في غزة من الأحوال يا ذا الجلال والعزة يا ذا الجبروت والعزة اللهم أعز أهل غزة اللهم فرج عن أهل غزة اللهم فرح أهل غزة اللهم انصر أهل غزة اللهم داو جريحهم اللهم اشف مريضهم اللهم اقبل شهيدهم اللهم ارحم ميتهم اللهم كفف جراحاتهم وبرد آلامهم اللهم واجعل لهم وللمسلمين فرجا قريبا يا الله اللهم فرج عنا وعن المسلمين في كل مكان اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين واخذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين يا رب العالمين سبحانك سبحانك ترى الظالمين فتمهلهم حتى يظنوا أنك تهملهم وتبتلي الصالحين في الدنيا حتى يستيئسوا فإن استيئسوا أتيتهم بنصرهم اللهم إنك تعلم أن جراحات المسلمين كثيرة وآلامهم كثيرة في كل مكان وفي كل زمان اللهم فانصرنا على أعدائنا يا الله اللهم فثبت أقدامنا يا الله.
Your perfect companion, Radio Al Ansar.
And we're back with Green Thumbs Up. And one of the sisters is asking, please, can we get the exact ingredients? Right. So I've given you the ingredients, but I think what she's looking for is a full breakdown. So let's cover this up because I went in and looked very, very carefully over here. So you're wanting a cup of water, a cup of distilled white vinegar. I know I had said half a cup, 1 cup, my bad. 1 cup of water, 1 cup of your white vinegar, which could be your apple cider vinegar, right? Although when it comes to pickles, we usually use spirit vinegar, the mean and nasty one, because it helps to ferment faster. But apple cider vinegar works great. You want half an onion that's been diced. You want 1 head of cabbage that you have cored, apple core, nothing more. This is cabbage core, nothing more. Remove the core, shred the cabbage. You want a pinch of sea salt, a half a teaspoon of celery seed, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, another half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and then ground pepper to taste. So remember, you're taking your water with your half a cup of vinegar and your onion, putting it into a pot over high heat, adding your cabbage, your salt, your celery seed, all the ingredients, and then you're going to pour the rest of the vinegar, the other half a cup of vinegar, over it, cover it and bring it to the boil, reduce it and simmer it for 3 minutes. Then you can uncover it, stir it up, stir it up, and then cover again, cool it down, let it stirring, occasionally simmering until the cabbage is tender and wilted. It shouldn't take more than 10 to 15 minutes. And there you have your sauerkraut. Right. So Ma says, Assalamu alaikum. Please tell me what menu must put in curry leaves? What menu must put in the curry leaves? I'm not sure I understand the question, Ma. Please, if you could rephrase that, that would be awesome. Carrie, you still with us? Carrie, Dr. Carrie, still with us?
Oh, there,
Yes.
I am. Sorry. Can I ask you with the sauerkraut? Can we put it into a bottle, in like a glass bottle, and then keep it in our fridge for a long time, or do we have to eat it straight away?
So sauerkraut tends to keep in the fridge, but it'll keep longer if you water bath can it. So to water bath can it, once you've prepared your sauerkraut, what you do is you take your, I can't help myself when I say sauerkraut.
It's lovely.
What you do is you take your glass jar. Normally the console glasses are great because they've got that seal with a rubber seal in it, the lid that's got a rubber seal in it. So the glass jar, the fastest way to sterilize it is put a little bit of water in at the bottom, say about 20 mils of water in there, and pop it into the microwave. The microwave. Put it in the microwave, turn it up for 3 minutes, and it will just sterilize your jar. Then you throw out the water. The lids you can sterilize by boiling. right? Then you fill it up. When you fill up your sauerkraut into the jar carrier, you don't want to fill up all the way to the top. You need to leave a little lip. So 2 to 3 centimeters at the top, leaving a little bit of a lip. Why? Because when you water bath can it, it's going to kind of pull, expand. So leave that lip, put the lid on, pop it into a pot. Now, when you've popped it into the pot and you've made sure that it is sealed properly, closed properly, don't close it too tight. You don't want your bottle to explode. But you're going to cover your glass jar with water. You're going to cover the lid and you're going to think, oh, is water going to get in? No, it won't get in. You turn on the heat and you can put it onto high heat until the water boils and then reduce the heat and let it be in that water bath for at least half an hour to an hour. Okay, wow. Boiling water. Now what happens, it creates a vacuum seal inside the jar. And that is water bath canning. And you can keep that without being in the fridge. Do you know you could do water bath canning with butter and it can last you out of the fridge for about 10 years?
That's incredible. It's actually wonderful that we can preserve our food and our resources that maybe, like you said, we have excess of in this manner. Because I think it's, at the nature, and I saw we were planting vegetables this weekend or on Friday actually.
Yes.
And the team was saying, oh, but there's going to be so many carrots. And I said, yes, you have to space out your planting. So plant a packet now, then plant another packet in a month's time. So you have a continuous harvest of carrots. But if you can plant, and if you've got excess and you can't share them with everyone, because not everybody loves carrots. I love the munch and crunch of a carrot. Oh, it's my favorite.
Yes.
And I love the flowers of them. But then if you were able to preserve them in some sort of a manner like this fermentation process, that would be wonderful. And then it could also make amazing gifts.
Yes, I have got a lovely thing for you. Did you know that you can, the same way as you get your pickles, your gherkins at the store, you can have pickled carrots and you can put your carrot flowers in there too.
Oh, you see, I love this show too, because we just learn so much from each other.
And it really is very easy. You need your carrots, so the slimmer the better. Otherwise, you have to cut the carrots. Oh, we've got to go to the news.
Yep.
Let's go to the news, and then I'll come back and I'll give you the pickled recipe. Right, let's go. Eric is in studio. Thank you, Eric, for the news.
Eric, you okay, Eric?
Very well. How are you? It's time for the news, my brother.
Okay, all right.
Let's go.
Radio Al-Ansar.
Radio Al-Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
An informative Islamic global perspective. This is Al-Ansar News.
Making news this the 20th of July. The news from Durban 90.4 FM, Pietermaritzburg 105.6 FM. Local media says 5 victims seek assistance following fire. Ameri Kimonino. Family members of 2 people who died in a fire in Kennedy Road informal settlement are appealing for assistance to bury their loved ones. A report says a 25-year-old woman and a 1-year-old child were killed when their house caught fire in the early hours of yesterday. A candle is suspected to have been the cause of fire. Over 100 people are homeless after 80 shacks were destroyed. In the base in Lesbia of the Department of Human Settlement says government has been hands-on in helping shack dwellers.
We are really dealing here with a moving target. We built houses for the families that lived here before. We moved them to Waterloo. They have new houses. That's where they are living. We also built a block of flat here just across, this area, where we also moved, families that lived here. But unfortunately, we've got new families that are here.
More news now. The KwaZulu-Natal Department of Economic Development has warned small business owners that some people are impersonating government officials and they've been conducting unauthorized inspections. The department spokesperson, Sinentla Mtembu, says they have had reports of such inspections in Kwaduguza as well as other parts of the province. She says spaza shop owners and especially foreign nationals who own spaza shops are being targeted for extortion. Mtembu says that a private company who was denied permission to do compliance visits is behind the unauthorized inspections. All spaza shops had to register at the beginning of the year following a spate of food poisoning related deaths. More news now. Gunfire has rocked the Western Cape once again, this time in Parow, Cape Town. 2 persons have been killed and 2 others injured. One has escaped unharmed when suspect opened fire on the vehicle. It's the 3rd mass shooting in the province this week. Joseph Swartboy is police spokesperson. He has this to say.
Detectives of the anti-gang unit are hard at work to apprehend those responsible for the death of 2 males and the attempt to kill 3 others. Reports suggested that the occupants of this silver VW Polo was traveling on Voortrekker Road in the direction of Parow earlier today when armed suspects then fired numerous shots on the VW Polo. 2 of the adult males did not survive this onslaught on their lives, whilst 2 others was transported to a nearby hospital for medical treatment, and then another male escaped unharmed. The motive for this attack is believed to be gang-related. The anti-gang unit are investigating 2 counts of murder, 3 counts of attempted murder. We appeal to anyone with information who witnessed this incident to please call Crime Stop on 08600 1000.
More news now. More than 200 FlySafe pilots are set to embark on a 2-week strike starting from tomorrow, Monday. Trade Union Solidarity says this comes after the employer was given a notice to strike following a deadlock in wage negotiations. The union has rejected the airline's 5.7% proposed salary increase. It's now demanding 10.5% for the next financial year. And finally, international story. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says Iran is fully vigilant and prepared to defend itself should the Israeli regime break a fragile ceasefire that ended 12 days of aggression against the country last month. Araghchi made the remarks yesterday with the international media where he attended the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Foreign Ministers meeting. He also pointed out that the 12-day war launched by the Israeli regime against Iran was unprovoked military aggression and not simply a conflict. He also cast doubts on Israel's intention to truly honor the ceasefire, which he has characterized as fragile. The foreign minister says Iran does not wish for the war to continue, but reaffirms the country's full readiness should aggression resume. Financial indicators ran to the dollar, it's 70 rands 72, the euro, it's 20 rands 58, and the British pound is 23 rands 76 cents. The weather at 14 degrees. A quick reminder of our top story. Family members of 2 people who died in a fire in Kennedy Road informal settlement are appealing for assistance to bury their loved ones. That's the news.
Eric, thank you so much for the news. You know you have some fans.
I see.
We have some fans here for Eric that have messaged here on our live. This is on my live. This is Sister Luthia Basatimo says hello. Oh. And Rabia Gundi says hello.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it's the same person. Hola. Hola.
Hola.
Hola. Hola. So hello. Hola, bom dia, bom dia. In good Portuguese means good morning. Thank you so much for the news, Eric.
Thank you very much.
If you have just joined us, folks, you're on Green Thumbs Up, and this is Radio Al Ansar on 90.4 FM.
Actually, this is Sunday lunchtime now.
Oh, yes, but Green Thumbs Up is standing in. You're so right. It is time for the Sunday Lounge. I must apologize. Sister Salma KW, Salma Kazi Wahab is not here, so we are just kind of steamrolling over it, only because she graciously asked us to please continue in her absence. So we will be taking you through until the top of 11.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Ameen. Now, we've still got Doctor. Well, she's a sister and she's a doctor. Dr. Carrie very good one on the line. And we were talking about pickles. And I was about to give you the carrot pickle, but then there was a question that came in from someone that says, what is the difference? And I shall explain. What is the difference between sauerkraut and kimchi? So kimchi is a Korean fermented food. Why are fermented foods so good? We're not talking about fermented food as in alcohol, folks. So before anybody gets their green beans twisted, this is fermented foods that ferment such that there is probiotic. So it's very good for our gut health. It's very good for our immune systems. Now, sauerkraut and kimchi are different in the way that they are made. Sauerkraut, as you heard, requires some degree of cooking in that brine, whereas kimchi normally is not cooked in the brine. It is also got a lot of different spices in it. So your kimchi basically consists of lots of really, really tasty spices. So you can also make your own if you'd like a recipe for that. You're also using different cabbages, really. You're wanting more your Chinese cabbages, your bok choy, your napa cabbage is really, really great. Okay. And you normally use 2 heads of that. It contains sea salt. It contains something called gochugaru, which is one of my favorite things. Gochugaru. It is. Amen. We twist tongues here.
I can see.
Gochugaru is essentially a paste of red peppers, but it's not chilies. And there's like a garlic in it, and there's paprika in it, and there's cayenne pepper in it, and it's wonderful. And kimchi contains this gochugaru, and it contains Korean pear or Chinese apple.
That is kimchi.
Kimchi.
All right.
Right? And it also contains horseradish. So Korean radish, which gives it a little bit of a bite. Korean radish looks a little bit like daikon, so it's larger, it's sweeter, it's got a pale green color towards the root end. So if you think of a radish, you can substitute it with daikon if you can't get Korean radish. And daikon you do get at the supermarkets. You just need to be able to identify it. And kimchi actually contains fish sauce as an ingredient, as well as plum syrup and glutinous rice flour. So it's quite a rigmarolous, matchmacolous, bippity boppity boopalolous to make kimchi, Dr. Carrie. But your carrots, however, are easy to make. So let's get to that. Yeah. So if you've got carrots and you've got a glut of carrots, you can harvest them, just scrape them. You don't even have to remove all of the big leaves. Just cut it off so that a little bit of that green stays behind. You know, that little stump on the top of the carrot, right? Cut off all the green leaves. Just shave its head off. Shave the leaves off. Now you're going to make a brine, okay? It is typical of pickles to have a brine, and usually a pickle brine is vinegar, water, sugar, and salt. That's your basic brine, equal amounts of water and vinegar, and then you add water, salt, and sugar. But to make these carrots, if you have the baby carrots, that's great. You don't need to peel them when you're making pickles. And if you have larger carrots and you've cut them, then too, you don't need to peel them. Give them a good wash. Give them a bit of a scrubby dubs, and you are ready to pickle them. So wash them, cut them into sticks, either halfway so that they fit into these glass jars that have got lids. Pack the carrots into the jars as tight as you can, and now add as much garlic as you want. If you're Portuguese, you're going to add like equal amounts carrots and garlic. Add garlic and add peppercorns. And if you're a South African Muslim, typically you're going to want to add chilies as well. So why not harvest some chilies and cut those up as well and put them in there? Now you can get creative, because if you've got some excess onions, put some onions in there. Play with your food, in other words. So you've put your glass jars, you filled it up with your carrots and everything else that you're wanting, right? Now you're going to toast your spices. So which spices are you going to need? You're going to need cumin and coriander. So dhania and jeera in Durban speak. Black peppercorns, garlic, of course. And so you're going to toast your cumin and your coriander, your dhania and your jeera. Toast it. Put as much in as you want to have, right? So toast. You've made your brine. Where am I now? I've lost my place. I'm trying to take you through this recipe that I found, which is it's a delightful recipe. There we go. Toast your spices. Add your cumin and your coriander, your jeera and your dhania to a dry saucepan over medium-low heat. Now, when you're toasting spices, stir them. Otherwise, they burn on one end. You don't want none of that. Toast your spices. Let them talk to each other there in your dry saucepan until you have that beautiful fragrance that fills your house. Now, you've made your brine, vinegar, water, salt, and sugar. Put it onto medium heat, stir it until the sugar and the salt have dissolved. It takes about a minute or two. And then just pour that, it's quite hot, over the carrots into the jar. Fill the jar. And then you can go ahead and close them. Put them in the fridge. And they should be ready to eat in a day or two. Or if you want a water bath can them, even better, you can store them for yonks, which means ages. Very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Muchos tiempos. So, a question for you, Dr. Carey. What soil, listener says, what soil do you use for curry leaf plants? What soil do you think is best for a curry leaf plant?
I would have used, if you're planting it in the garden, and it's, as I said earlier, a protected place, it would just be good, healthy compost. So if you had made your own compost from all the leaves we collected during autumn, that would be really, a bit beneficial. Otherwise, if you went into a garden center and got some good potting soil, if you're planting it into a pot, I did plant mine in a pot. So I used potting soil because I like the idea that the potting soil has, coir fibers and water-saving granules. So I don't have to water it too often. Actually, I very seldom water mine during the winter. And then the potting soil, a lot of the ones that we use today actually are enriched with a fertilizer like a 315 to just help the plant give it, probably about 3 months of food. Because not that you would really need to feed your curry leaf in the winter, but when it comes into spring, it would be good to give it a bit of a handful of fertilizer so that it could actually grow, especially if you're going to start using the leaves. I think that's what a lot of people forget, because recently we've been testing a lot of people's soils. They've been bringing them into the nursery and saying, please, can you test my soil to see, is it still nutritious? Does it have benefits? And generally, the pH of the soil seems to be really good for gardening produce. But because, especially in people's veggie gardens, they've been using their veggies, those vegetables have been taking all the nutrients from the soil, and people haven't been replenishing those nutrients. And so it really is important to replenish, put fertilizer, good organic fertilizers back into your veggie gardens. Maybe if you have a bokashi bin, mixing in some of your bokashi to put back the biotics, the good bacteria into your soil. But it was fascinating for me how nutrient poor the soils were that we were testing for our customers. Obviously, they brought them in because nothing was growing. But in my mind, I kind of thought people realized that plants are living things. And just like we need food to keep us healthy, our plants also do need food, even though they make their own. That's what I always remember from school is plants, they make their own food. You don't have to worry. But actually, if you want a healthy, strong, disease-resistant plant, even to insects, then you need to give it a little bit of extra to make it super strong, to protect it. And vegetables, as I said, if we're using them and you're harvesting your crops, please remember to replenish your soil so the plants that you're eating are super healthy. So yeah, I hope I answered it in a very long way.
Absolutely. No, you definitely answered that. In terms of your curry leaf trees, that is a great soil mix. also wanted to add to what you've said that when we plant fruit trees, and I grow fruit trees in these massive pots, what we sometimes forget to do is we forget to feed them, and we can feed them once a month, or we can feed them once a season, depending on how you do it. If you're just throwing things on the surface, or you're using a liquid fertilizer, you can mulch, you can use your fertilizers, I love BioOcean, for instance, because it's a slow release one. But once every few months, so once a season, what I like to do, particularly in the spring or summer, is I take my pot and I dig the soil out closest to the edge of the pot. I dig it out around there as far down as I can go. I lift the soil out and I replace that soil with other soil. But that other soil that I've got, I've put quite a lot of compost, very well rotted manure, for instance, tea bags. You take the tea bag out and you've just got the tea leaves inside. I put that in there, those tea leaves. It's great. It's absolutely wonderful to have. So a comment that came in from Sister Nasreen. You're a little bit late. I'm so sorry. We've only just seen your message. Sister Nasreen says, Salams, Eric got a very nice accent when he's saying the news.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Eric is a brilliant newsreader. We are so grateful to have him on the Al Ansar team. And Sister Rehana Banu says, lovely times of life will not return back, but the lovely relations and missing memories of lovely people will stay in the heart forever. Now, I know that that's an older message, but it's absolutely beautiful. And she says, Salams, good morning. Happy Sunday. Hope you are well and safe. Wa alaikum salam. All good. Siboniso, you're seeing something there for us?
Gee, yeah, I got a message that just pop up here on Facebook as we're going live on social. Got a message from Ahmed Faroukdin saying salam, living in Overports, Devon. Her question is saying, please advise how I can make my lemon and grass grow in winter. It's always so dry.
Lemon and grass or lemongrass? Lemongrass.
Gee, I think.
There you go, Carrie. Lemongrass in winter. Yes, it does dry back. Give us some tips, your best ones.
But I was going to say, I think you also have to remember in winter that the plants do have to dry out. They do have to rest. So if you were harvesting to put into your Thai green curries or whatever you might be making, then you would almost find, if you could find younger new shoots closer to the bottom or into your teas. But as I say, for me, a lot of our grasses, whether they be the edible variety or even if we look at our natural felt varieties, they go into a stage of dormancy in winter. And we kind of have to respect that that's the plant's process rather than trying to work against nature and say, why aren't you growing? Let me give you more water and fertilizer, because the plant's going to say, all I want to do is sleep. Give me a chance to sleep.
Yes.
And then I'm going to rejuvenate myself in the spring for you. So I'm not answering the question in the right way, that I think the answer that you want to hear, but it is just let your plant have a chance to sleep in the winter.
Absolutely. Just before Green Thumbs Up started, Buddy always does a little bit of an intro, Buddy Governor. He was talking about his lemon tree that doesn't bear lemons. And I understood that it doesn't bear lemons as in for a long time. So, of course, I give my handy tip, which is give your tree a hiding. But meantime, his lemon tree has borne lemons up until, like a week ago. So it's not the case that the tree isn't bearing. So don't beat your trees if it is bearing fruit. It's just if, it's been 2 years, 3 years, you're not getting any fruit in a lemon tree or your orange tree, then a good hiding definitely does tend to loosen things up within the trunk of the tree and allow the sap to flow better, the uptake of nutrients to improve, and so that then the tree can provide you with fruit. But yes, trees need to rest. Plants need to rest. Everything needs a wee bit of a rest. Now, a message has come in for you, Carrie, from Sister Jamila. Not just for you, though. It's actually for all of us. She says, Carrie, Rabia, Sibonisu, Kelly, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Enjoy Sunday. She says, we need to raise children who can name more plants and animals than brands and celebrities. Can we get an round of applause for that? Yes, we need to raise children. Wow.
What an excellent idea. And I think when she's saying that, we actually have to raise children who can put their hands in the soil. We did an activity with kids recently we made bird feeders because especially in the winter, there's not a lot of food around for the birds. And it was fascinating for me. We mixed orange pulp together with some lard and some peanut butter and raisins and oats and all sorts of nutritious things to make a bird feeder. And some of the children were so tactile sensitive. And it really opened my eyes to a world where maybe children have become so used to their devices and touching their devices that they've forgotten that putting their hands into something a bit strange will challenge them. Putting your hand into soil, I just read it recently. Actually, there's a fungus in the soil that when it gets absorbed by your skin, releases serotonin. So instead of eating a bar or a slab or a piece of chocolate, rather go and put your hands in some healthy living soil, plant a plant, and you'll be filled with happiness.
Yes,
so
go and play in the mud. Go and play in the mud. Kids do not, I think about these adults doing mud wrestling. And I think, so adults are doing mud wrestling and kids are sitting on their phones. No. Kids should be out in nature. What a bizarre world we live in, because the earth, the soil biome, as you said, Dr. Carey, is so important. Do you know that the human body is estimated, it contains around 30 to 40 trillion bacterial cells? That means our bodies are like little bags that require bacteria in order to function properly. Bacteria is part of breaking down food. It's part of helping us to be healthy. Image Osman says, my garden also has lemongrass plants and chili trees that dried up because of the cold. Yes, they will. But on the subject of lemongrass, my apothecary pops out again. And I want to say, lemongrass is different to lemon verbena. I love both.
Lemon verbena.
Lemon verbena. So lemongrass literally looks like a grass. It's long, like a long grass. Your lemon verbena is a tree, and it's very, very, very prolific here in Durban. There's lemon verbena growing all over the place. And in Joburg, they grow like small bushes. In Durban, Carrie, they grow like trees, full on.
Oh, wow. Because they're quite difficult to find sometimes here in Joburg.
Right? Yes, but I always had a lemon verbena in Joburg and bought lemon verbena here in Durban. Lemon verbena, for me, is it's very much a cultural thing, Portuguese culture, because we use lemon verbena. It's used for all digestive disorders, dysfunction. So if you've had a heavy meal, here's a cup of lemon verbena tea. You've got a little bit of acid. Here's a cup of lemon verbena tea. You've got, sore stomach. Here's a cup of lemon verbena tea. People love lemon verbena tea. And lemon verbena tastes similar to lemongrass, but vuma on the lemon. It's much, much more lemon. And it gives you a kick of energy. So if you come home from a long day of work and you need an extra hour of vuma, because your chutzpah is gone, then you have your cup of lemon verbena tea, and it's going to give you that extra shkaboom to get going for another hour. It's brilliant stuff. It's great for the digestive system. It's great for the blood sugar. But lemongrass itself also has wonderful, wonderful benefits. One of which is not always known is that it relieves anxiety.
Oh, yes?
Yes. So it relieves anxiety. It's great in your mouthwash. So if you've got stevia growing at home, and everybody should try to grow stevia at one point on the understanding that stevia dies as soon as it gets cold. But stevia, one leaf of stevia is equivalent to like 5 or 10 teaspoons of sugar. That's how sweet it is. It's ultra, ultra sweet. So you only need one small leaf to flavor an entire cup of tea.
All right.
But what I'm getting to in a very roundabout way is stevia is great for oral health. Lemongrass is great for oral health. So stevia helps to rebuild your enamel. It fights gum disease. lemongrass helps to get rid of all the bacteria in your mouth because it prevents infection. So if you can make yourself a mouthwash with stevia and lemongrass, you are pumping along with gas, especially for the kiddies. The kiddies will love it. There's no alcohol. There's no chemicals. There's nothing. I saw recently a study that's linking mouthwash. I don't want to mention the brands, but everybody knows the ins on the end of the words, being linked to mouth cancers, these mouthwashes. So you can make, all you need is 1 leaf of stevia. You need 1 leaf or half a leaf of lemongrass, put it into a cup of boiling water, let it stand for 10 minutes. There's your mouthwash. Kids can gargle with it. If they drink it, it's great. You can use it for sore throats. You can use it to boost your teeth health. You can boost it. You can use it to help you to sleep. I mean, how wonderful is it? And it lowers your blood pressure. So there you go.
Okay.
All of this.
Sounds amazing.
Have we got a sheet for us?
Go and plant some of these plants.
Yes. So Vanessa.
Actually, we got one more question that pops up on Facebook Live. This one is what's saying? Okay, it's Soyora Mohammed.
Soyora Mohammed.
Say assalamu alaikum all the way from Bloemfontein.
Wow.
Okay. Her question: I am growing tomatoes, but the leaves are turning yellow. It's very cold here.
Oh, she's growing tomatoes and the leaves are turning yellow. You know, tomatoes normally don't do well in the winter overseas, although in Durban they do well all year round. Is it a case of letting them rest or finding a different cultivar? Carrie, what would you say?
I think in Bloem, your tomatoes are not going to survive those super cold winters. And so the leaves are going yellow because it is so cold. I would actually almost, if you have tomatoes on your plants already and you haven't harvested them, you could always harvest them now because the plant is just going to start looking worse and worse and worse. And then maybe, a tomato is an annual plant. So if you wanted to, you could take some of those seeds, dry them out and plant them again in August when it starts getting warmer. Then you'll have plants for the new season. Otherwise, visit your local garden center and go and get some new seeds. And a lot of the garden centers are are selling a wide variety of different tomatoes now. I mean, you're really spoiled for choice in what you can find in terms of heritage varieties. Your good ox heart is available. Then you still get your little cherries and then you get newer ones. So I think they're amazing tomatoes that you can grow. But down in Bloem, unless you were growing them in a tunnel or somewhere warmer, they're not going to survive your winters.
I agree. There we go. There's your answer for you all the way in Bloemfontein. And thank you so much, Jazakallah, for all of the comments, all of the questions, all of the messages, all of the likes and all of the gifts and all of the new followers on our social medias. We really appreciate you. A little question that popped up over here. And, sometimes we assume things. And I am not one to assume. We assume that everybody knows the answer to things. So I'm not sure the age of the person who sent in the question, but the question is, why is smoking cigarettes unhealthy? So, smoking cigarettes is unhealthy because, firstly, the tobacco is processed. It normally gets bleached. Tobacco is a plant that has natural and it has good, healthy benefits. However, when we smoke things. Smoking has a very long history. People have been smoking all sorts of plants, like chamomile, for example, like lavender. Way before tobacco, they used to make smoking mixes from mullein. It does need, or verbascum, it does need to remain quite humid so that it isn't very dry and hard on the chest. But cigarettes don't contain those natural things. And smoking, historically, from a health perspective, smoking was used to help to relieve coughs, bronchitis. It was one way of delivering medicine, natural medicine, into the lungs. I am not advocating smoking. Folks, do not come at me. But I just want to say to you that it's very, it's used traditionally. Okay? So when you're smoking cigarettes, firstly, you've got harmful chemicals going in there. Mm-hmm. Bleachers that have been used. You've got tar. You've got poisonous gases. All of these things, not to mention the paper itself that has been bleached. Not to mention that those filters have also been bleached. processed, sponge, plastic, all sorts of things in that. So I don't call them cigarettes, I call them death sticks. Brother Sibonisi, you've got something for us?
No, I want to say let's take a break and slip into a quick commercial break. Don't go too far away. We'll be right back right here on Radio Al Ansar.
Getting you through your day. Radio Al Ansar.
You're listening to the Sunday Lounge with Salma Kazi.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
We are friends, we are sisters, we are mothers, we are warriors in heels. We wipe tears, wear smiles, and still wear the crown. This Women's Day, own your crown with the Al Ansar Foundation, a celebration of bold hearts and beautiful souls. The 9th of August, 189 West Road. Tickets 250 Rand at the Al Ansar shop. Own your crown, because queens don't wait. Call Outreach now for more information on 031 208 1601.
Iqra Wafham. Read and understand the Holy Quran. Your program giving you the most powerful manual for life. It's the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Last Testament. The ayahs are recited, translated and explained for us to understand by various learned scholars of Islam. Comes to you every Sunday at 8 p.m. and Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Iqra Wafham. Read and understand.
It's official. Checkers Foods Kawi Park is our first food store with a halal butchery, bakery and deli certified by NIHT, the National Independent Halal Trust. This will ensure high standards and ethical practices across our butchery, bakery and deli from farm to table. So visit Checkers Foods Kawi Park for an exceptional shopping experience that keeps getting better and better.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7. 365.
Sunday Lounge. The Sunday Lounge with Salma Kazi Wahab. Latest nasheeds, celebrity artist features.
Assalamu alaikum, اسمع زين.
حبيبي يا محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد.
Events, news from the nasheed world, top 10 countdown. The Sunday Lounge with Salma Kazi Wahab.
رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغير.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
Getting you through your day. Radio Al Ansar.
Not long ago, I was oh so young. When you wake up and hold your own, with each wrinkle, there's some lessons you'll learn. By the time you learn to love, you'll have to learn to lose. Since one day I'll be leaving you, but hold on tight like you once did. When you get a chance, say a prayer like this. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. رب ارحمهما رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. رب ارحمهما. The greatest empires have turned to sin, and one day we'll all be joining them. Pray you stay firm, hope you stay calm. Pray you always learn from the best of mankind. By the time you learn to love, you'll have to learn to lose. Soon one day tight like you once did. When you get a chance, say a prayer like this. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. رب ارحمهما رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب ارحمهما worship your Lord and He is one.
Welcome back to Green Thumbs Up, which is standing in. I'm Rabia Carvalho, standing in for Sister Salma Kazi Wahab on the Sunday Lounge. Now, I am not a nasheed specialist, and so Sister Salma has asked us to kindly continue. And so this is what we're doing. We're doing what we know best, what we love best, and that is a natural healing. And just in the break, I was talking to our visitors on the socials, talking about extending lifespan. And sometimes it gets contentious because people will say, no, well, Allah determines when you die. Absolutely. The Creator is the one that determines our birth and determines our death. And we get to choose how healthy we live in that time. I do believe that the Creator knows exactly more about science than we do. He's the ultimate scientist. He created everything. He knows how everything works. And I'm sure that Allah knows also about telomeres because He made them. So telomeres are protective caps. Think of a little cap at the top of a bottle. And these are located on the tips of our chromosomes. They are composed of DNA sequences as well as associated proteins. So think of plastic tips on shoelaces, I was saying. You know that when those plastic tips go away, those shoelaces are ending their life cycle. So sometimes we try to extend it. We put sellotape. Remember, as a kiddie, putting sellotape on the shoelaces. I don't know if you ever did that, Carrie, to extend your shoelaces. Or to get it through.
Not so much. I'm probably more one of those children who didn't even have shoelaces. Slip-ons.
Okay.
Always walking barefoot.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm old school, so we had to have the lace-up shoes. There was no choice for us. But you know, there's a lot of talk in epigenetics field. Dr. David Sinclair, for instance, talks about and has studied life extension. Now, when we talk about life extension, I was saying to the listeners, this does not mean that we are somehow godlike and we're kind of cheating the Creator. No, our deadline will be our deadline. But I do believe that the Creator foresees that maybe, just maybe, you are going to be working on your telomeres, So there we go. And there are ways to extend your wellness. Now, there's a message that popped in. I've got to quickly interrupt. Sister Amina Ali says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I trust that you and the listeners are well. Fantastic program as usual. A special request. Oh, we've got a special request for you, Sibanisu. Please play the nasheed sung by Bibi Amina Fili. Oh, I don't know if we have that one. It was played on the afternoon jam. I'll tell you what. We will contact them and we'll ask them if we can get that nasheed.
Actually, I played like multiple times yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, on the Nightline.
On Nightline.
Gee, yeah.
Maybe we'll play it just as we are closing the show.
I'll check on my system, inshallah.
Okay, we could check on the system for you. We'll check on the system for you, Sister Amina. Another message, Salam's team. Maybe you can advise. I planted a pear and apple seeds. One of them is now over 3 years but hasn't flowered. What can I do for it to give fruit? It looks like an apple tree to me. I wonder how long apple trees take to bloom. Dr. Carey, what do you have for us?
So I think your apple trees are actually going to take much longer than 3 years. I think they take up to about 5 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
But the challenge with your apple tree, and depending on which one you planted, is you often need a companion. They cross-pollinate. So if you've planted a golden delicious, then you might need another early red. It doesn't have to be in your garden. Hopefully you've got neighbors. So maybe chat to your neighbors, see if other people have apple trees. But 3 years is still a very young age for an apple tree. And when you're buying them from your local garden center or nursery, you might find that a lot of our fruit trees are actually grafted. So it gives you the impression that a tree is going to fruit very early, because when you buy it, most of your trees will fruit within the year that you buy them because they've been grafted onto really productive rootstock. And then your tree, you plant it and it fruits. When you're growing something from seed, it's a completely different ball game, because the plant is, I want to say, like if we talked about a golden delicious, it is going to be a golden delicious, but it does need a friend for cross-pollination to occur. And so you'd probably still have to wait a few years. If you were looking for products to help promote, build up the stem growth, your bio-ocean that you spoke about earlier,
Yes.
is really good. To promote flowering, you would also add extra potassium into the soil, so a nice 315 fertilizer, or you could look at natural fertilizers like people are using banana peels as mulch, which will actually also add extra potassium in. But I think, 3 years is still young. You're going to have it wait at least another 2 years or so before your tree starts bearing. I mean, it should maybe have flowers, but it's not going to have any fruit as such.
Absolutely agree. People underestimate how long it takes for fruit trees to flower and to bear fruit. I mean, my jabuticaba tree, it took 5 years before it even flowered, and it had like one little flower and it fell off, and then only the following year did it flower and give me like 4 little jabuticabas. I speak about it because it's one of those beautifully structural leaves that at the moment the bark is peeling off, and I'm reminded of what you said about bark. But another thing that you can use to strengthen the stems of those fruit trees, something that I use that works very, very, very well, is completely natural, is you want one small sweet potato or half of a sweet potato, small sweet potato, and you're wanting aloe vera leaf. Take a sweet potato and your aloe vera leaf, put it in a liquidizer, blitz it up, and then dilute a half a cup of the pulp, that pulp that you're getting out of it, into 2.5 liters of water. You can use that to water your plant. It's okay that it goes off. It's okay that it ferments. It's absolutely fine, because that is very, very strong potassium. It's really, really strong phosphorus. It's great to really give your tree a good start. Now, somebody mentioned earlier on, and I'm trying to find the comment, someone mentioned that they used aloe vera. I'm trying to find that comment. If the listener could perhaps send it in again, then I can actually find it a lot faster. Because yes, aloe vera can really, really help to boost your plant health. It is antimicrobial. So the same way that it's going to fight bugs, bacteria, viruses for human beings, it's going to do the same for plants. And there you have it. Aloe vera. Did you know that? Aloe vera and sweet potato.
I think that's a really lovely idea. It actually just shows you how humans, I mean, we're all living. So whether it's plants or humans that we're talking about, the products that we use to keep each other healthy and our plants healthy could be similar. Because, I mean, aloe vera has so many health benefits for humans ourselves. And now that you can use it for both. And I was just wondering, if we use the aloe vera in the early autumn season and that pulp mixture that you mentioned, would that maybe protect our stems from frost damage in the winter?
Yeah, it could. You could certainly put, I mean, you're going to have to cover the tree in the end. But yes, it is going to protect against bacteria, and you can even actually paint some aloe vera onto the leaves. But I think some of our listeners are missing the nasheeds. I'm sure they are. There's not a peep out of them, but I'm sure they are. So, Dr. Carrie, I'm going to say goodbye to you today. I'm going to say thank you so much, particularly for staying with us for an extended period of time today, and for teaching us so many beautiful things about gardening. I know there's some of our listeners are not. So give us your contact details quickly before you go.
Okay, so it's I work at Colourful Splendor. We have a branch in Craig Hall and one in Honeydew. I'm there most of the time, except when I'm on your radio show. My cell phone number is 082-781-2710 if you have any gardening questions. Otherwise, you can just email me at Carrie, CARY, @colourfulgroup.co.za. And I would love to hear from you and help you out. But thank you so much for the opportunity. It's always fantastic chatting.
It's wonderful having you, and all our listeners know you. You're part of the furniture. Thank you so much for giving us of your time. Carrie. Yeah. So we're going to switch tacks a little bit. I know there are still messages coming in from all of you on the various socials as well as on WhatsApp. I apologize. We can't get to all of the messages, but we appreciate each and every single one of you. One quick message before we go to Nasheed was regarding an app for plant identification. There are various apps. Some of them are paid for, some of them are not. But the quick way to identify a plant, you're not sure what it is, take a picture of it. And on any smartphone, you can now go to the 3 dots at the bottom or more, and you use Google Lens. Google Lens will help you to identify that plant. Do we have a Nasheed lined up, Brother Sivanisi? What do we have there?
I have something from Mikhail Mala. This one's called Cameroon.
Let's listen to it.
It'll take us to 10T.
Yes.
10:48. That is your central time. Right here on Radio Al-Ansar. It's a green thumbs up.
And Sunday Lounge as a combo.
قمر سيدنا النبي قمر وجميل سيدنا النبي وجميل وكف المصطفى كالورد ينادي الله وعطرها يبقى إذا مست أيادي الله الله وكف المصطفى كالورد ينادي الله الله وعطرها يبقى إذا مست أيادي الله الله وعم نوالها كل العباد وعم نوالها كل العباد وعم نوالها كل العباد حبيب الله يا خير البراء يا قمر قمر سيدنا النبي قمر وجميل سيدنا النبي وجميل ولا ظل له بل كان نورا الله تنال الشمس منه والبدور الله الله ولا ظل له بل كان نورا الله تنال الشمس منه والبدور الله الله ولم يكن الهدى لولا ظهورا ولم يكن الهدى لولا ظهورا ولم يكن الهدى لولا ظهورا وكل الكون أنار بنور قمر قمر سيدنا النبي قمر وجميل سيدنا النبي وجميل قمر سيدنا النبي قمر
The Sunday Lounge with Salma Kazi Wahab. 10 to 12, latest Nasheed, celebrity artist features, events, news from the Nasheed world. Top 10 countdown.
بعثا مهدى
Sunday Lounge with Salma Kazi Wahab.
And you're back to Radio Al Ansar, and standing in for Sister Salma Kazi Wahhabi's Rabia Carvalho, myself and brother Siboniso. And we are continuing on with a little bit of green thumbs up, a little bit of nasheed, a little bit of everything together. And we have some messages that are still coming in. So let's go to a few of those. So here is a message. I don't have a name on this one. The number for your messages 060-904-1056. She says, Allah bless you and your loving team. Ameen. Enjoy your day with lots of love, happiness, success, good health. Ameen. From Aisha Bibi Khan in Newlands West, Durban. Walaikum salam. And Jazakallah so much for those wonderful wishes. We have a request from Sister Hajra asking, Assalamu alaikum, please can you play Rahmatul Lil Alameen by Maher Zain? Jazakallah. Let's take that. If you can find that, Sibunisu, let's play that nasheed for you. We will take your nasheed requests. We've got 10 minutes to go of the show, and we'll be taking your requests as well as, of course, any questions that you may have. We have it lined up. Let's get to it.
WhatsApp us now on 060-904-1056.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Call us now on 0861-904-904.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
يا من في قلبك رحمة للناس، يا من ألفت قلوبا بالإسلام، يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله، بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي، صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي. حبيبي يا محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد، حبيبي يا محمد، يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد، يا من حليت حياتنا بالإيمان، يا من بجمالك علمت الإحسان، يا من نورت قلوبنا بالقرآن، يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله، بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي، صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي. حبيبي يا محمد أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد، حبيبي يا محمد، يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد. صلى الله على خاتم الأنبياء محمد، رحمة للعالمين، رحمة للعالمين. محمد رحمة للعالمين.
Radio Al Ansar.